The shift from victim to data collector has commenced and had been initiated by you pressing play on this video. This channel was designed to bring you in rulership of your own domain. I know you're tired of abandoning yourself by now. You joined the self-help train, you've done the spiritual cleanse, the therapy sessions, the whole nine, but something is still missing. And that was me too, until I decided to go on an unorthodox rebel guru approach. And it wasn't what all the gurus are teaching. I will uncover some truths that I found in this video. Today we'll uncover the mechanics of the M, dissecting the M in manual mode. Number 1, appreciate the damage. 2, adding the data. 3, data management. These are the key components. Focus on this. You have now entered manual mode of your own emotional experiment. Get ready to alchemize some shit. I just love clearing shit out. This is my clear shit out spray by yours truly. This channel was designed to bring you in rulership of your own domain. As my promise to the universe, as a human in this experimental laboratory called life. Now let's tap the fuck in. Manual mode. We understand through certain emotional experiences, we've incurred some damage. We've incurred some things that we have as protective mechanisms that some of us are proud of and some of us aren't. Now, some of us are proud of some of these mechanisms that we created to keep ourselves protected and safe and away from harm. And some of us are absolutely not proud of it because it's keeping out and it's blocking those connections that you could possibly make if only you lived out of freedom, not fear. Step 1, appreciate the damage. We've been through so much. I know if you made it to this channel, we've been through so much to where we had a reason to put up wall on wall. Okay, the wall of China, you hear me? But those things were built up to what? Keep what safe? Keep your domain safe. And that is okay. However, now we need to peel back the layers and we need to go in and appreciate what happened. For example, you had a boss that was trash. Throw the whole thing in the trash. Every time you looked at them, they looked like a trash compartment, okay? That's what they look like. And every time they open up their mouth, you can smell the stank. You know who I'm talking about. You know which boss that was. We don't have to go back through it. But through that segment of life, through that situation, through that chapter, now we COA. There we go. I got it. Cover our ass. We send an email feedback based on conversations that will happen in private to make sure that we don't end up how we ended up previously. We also make sure to put our best foot forward and don't tell too much of our business because not everybody is happy. Not everybody is happy. Not everybody is happy for you. Not everybody is happy for your accomplishments. Not everybody wants to come with you as you pull them up. Not everybody likes that. I need you to know that right now. Not everybody likes that. Some people think it's gross disrespect for you to try to pull them up out of where they at. Leave their ass there. That's enough. You've already learned your lesson, honey. You've learned it. You learned it too much. Okay? That's why we're here. And I get it. Okay? Appreciating the damage will help you open up to new wonderful experiments as you move forward. Because life really is just a big experiment. It's collecting all of the data. And I'll go forward on our next video when we're doing the work on experimental part of MEsensualz. Let's get back to it. Now we understand that we appreciate the damage. Number 2, we're going to be adding the data. Why do we add data that we've collected? When we're able to add data that we've collected so far in our experience, we're able to see and sort through things that are erroneous, things that don't even make sense to keep it in our bank of tools and knowledge to move forward into different connections that will help us expand. I.e., you know what? You don't have to be afraid of every boss going forward, but you do know that you have to COA, cover your ass, in emails, and you do know now how to keep your goddamn mouth shut whenever you're talking to people, and you also know that not everybody wants, needs, or even appreciates your help. So whenever we collect the right amount of data, we are able to see those things, identify a pattern, and move accordingly. that leads us into data management. Now, there was one thing that I noticed, right? I was like, I have not been doing as much foot coverage of the world. And what I mean by that is I have not been taking enough steps, okay, according to me. So I'm very, very vigilant about monitoring certain steps because honestly, I love exploring, okay? I love exploring on foot. It's a wonderful thing. If you have feet right now and they operate, I want you to say, I love you, feet. I love you, feet. Because these are the things that we need to calculate inside of our data as management. And so when we're managing our data that we've calculated, I realized before March, I had already covered 200 miles on foot. If I hadn't been doing my daily rites of just collecting the data, seeing how far I've gone, I wouldn't even appreciate where I am. I wouldn't even appreciate the simple fact that my feet have been carrying me and I have actually undervalued them. Data management keeps you from undervaluing your actual input. Let me say it again. I think the people in the back, did the people in the back hear it? Data management keeps you from undervaluing your input. That is so important because as people who have dealt with self-abandonment, you undervalued your input thinking that you had to overput to even get approval, to even get love, self-acceptance. Honey, it goes down deep, honey. Okay. Now going forward in MEsensualz, this is your training ground for the battlefield outside the laboratory. That's what this is. Going forward, you will need a safe space journal, a pencil. Make sure that that pencil has an eraser. A red pen. One must be open to musical suggestion. That's where we're going, honey. You have a journal prompt for appreciating the damage. I have a journal prompt for a couple of other things as well. When we work together personally, we'll get to that. But this, I know for sure, is going to get you where you're going. Also, check the link down below if you want to work with me. Tag somebody who needs to hear this, who has also self-abandoned themselves. Put a blue heart below if you're ready to move forward in your life and have fruitful experiences and connections. Now this segment is called Real-Time Work for Real Time to Work. Okay? Now this is where we dive into our journals. And what you're going to need is an open heart and raw, honest conversations with yourself. All right? So I already told you what you need. Let's get that pencil out first. Now there's 3 steps to conduct this process. Steps 1 and 2. And part 1 of step 3, you're going to do with me. But part B, it's up to you, baby. That's who it's up to. It's all up to you. We call that part SESH REFLECTZ. And that's a new segment that we'll be adding in. Because we've got you to flip that switch into manual mode. Number 1, write all your setbacks and betrayals over the last 5 years with a pencil. Make sure this pencil has an eraser. I just wanted to indicate that one more time. And as you do this, I'll be here holding space for you, okay? And I'll be holding space for those tender parts of you. As you get raw and real with yourself. Now, as you do this, I want you to leave space in between each revealed setback as a bullet point, okay? So you have your bullet point, some space, your next bullet point, and some space, and so on. This is real-time work for real time to work. I'm going to go ahead and give you 2 minutes for that. Really focus on this. Really focus on this. okay. You can write it down. I'm going to go ahead and give you one more minute. Allowing ourselves to review those setbacks, those heartbreaks over the last 5 years. The timestamps are below if you finish early, so go ahead and skip to that if that's what you need. That's our time. And I just want you to be with that right now for the next 10 seconds. Just inhale those experiences. Inhale those experiences. Exhale and release those experiences. Again, inhale those experiences. Exhale those experiences. One more time, inhale those experiences. Exhale those experiences. You're ready for step 2. Step 2, in your red pen, I would like you to write on top of those exactly what you learned from those experiences. And again, the timestamp will be below. If you finish a little bit earlier, then I give the time out too, okay? All right, and I'm just here holding space for those tender moments and holding space for you to acknowledge what you learned from that situation. Recharge that energy. What have you learned? What were your key takeaways from those experiences? Those experiences that had you feeling broken, undeserving, caught off guard. yourself to allow the message to come in. Allow yourself to bless yourself with your own feedback. It's not hard. It's just new. It's our time, and we're going to move forward to step 3. There are 2 parts to step 3. Part 1, you'll do with me. And part 2, it's self-worth, which is a segment I call SESH REFLECTZ. Has a little ring to it, doesn't it? And I'll explain that further later in the video. I want you to start by erasing the pencil portion and noticing what you're left with. In this, I want you to read it out loud. When you're reading this out loud, do it with pride. This is your life, your lesson, your invaluable wisdom and feedback. Most precious of all, what do Fortune 500 companies always want? Go ahead. Data. What is data? Data is feedback, okay? In real time. They literally pay for your feedback, for reviews, to know how to improve, right? No matter who the person is, no matter who the person thinks they are, no matter if you think you're insecure or secure, they don't care if you think you're intelligent or you're dumb, okay? They don't care if you're accomplished or unaccomplished, unattractive, attractive, they don't care. Why, you ask? Why don't they care, Naki? Why they don't care? I'm going to tell you why they don't care. Because your feedback is invaluable information for the expansion of the whole human experience. Let me say it again. Your feedback is invaluable information for the expansion of the whole human experience. Do you understand the magnitude of that, me? These companies know this. You just don't. And you don't. I don't know who else don't. You gonna learn today. But now you do. The more cha-ching they make, the more data they take. Focus on this. The more money they make, what happens? The more data they take. How did Amazons get so good at sending you your packages? Feedback. Data is feedback. Think about that next time you go into self-depreciation mode. And when you knew better, you do better. And I'm going to leave that right there. Now, part 2 of step 3 is called SESH REFLECTZ, where I give you a song for reflections with this session's work, okay? First off, let's go ahead and cue up CPR by Summer Walker. I was at the edge, okay? I was at the end. What I would like you to do once you have that queued up on your own time, use the red pen in your journal as you listen to this song. Allow yourself to really dive deep on what you've actually learned based on the bullet points you've already put. One simple emotional statement on how you will improve your next steps. Just one. For me, I was curious about my steps, down on myself about my steps, till I found out I was stepping over 200 miles on foot, God, before March. However, I noticed I wasn't stepping in as many places that I wanted to. I had to reframe that to make me feel more effective in my goals, right? To make me feel like I'm actually accomplishing things as I'm stepping. I want to learn and explore new places. I can learn and explore new places. Just more intentional, right? Based on the data I have, I know that I have the actual resources, meaning the foots, to walk into the locations and the spaces that I want to be in. However, let me go to new places where I can explore and flourish, right? And most of those places are free. So it's just absolutely wonderful. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. My emotional statement. I choose to go to new places to walk my miles. I want to explore more. when you're making a simple emotional statement for yourself, you got to keep in mind that honestly, you are your favorite teacher. And it's time to assume the position. It's time to act like one. And the only way we can act like that is to come at things from a space, from a person who actually wants the best for us, and think about what would they say. There was like a big movement in the late 90s, WWJD, okay? I want you to put your name in there. What would Indy, okay? What would Naki, the highest version of Naki, do about this? How would I talk to my friend that I love about this situation that I just said that I learned from? How would I do that? And that's how you're going to write, and that's how you're going to connect with yourself. We'll tell you that the rules protocol is above all me. Self-devotion rules, self-abandonment every single time. To reformat your mind, you'll get a mind. The shift from victim to data collector has commenced and had been initiated by you pressing play on this video. The form of self-validation you need as your first step in self-devotion. Yes, you got it, class. Your first step to self-devotion in manual mode. All right, listen, I'm so excited. There are going to be some after effects. You need to be privy to it. I always like to know what the next steps are. So here they are. You might cry, okay? You might do a little bit of extra writing. Maybe you'll have a desire to move forward. Maybe you'll have indifference. Maybe you'll start to shift gears towards your own unique revelation, you know? And that's beautiful for you. There will be clarity after the mental fog and relief, just to name a few. The shift from victim to data collector has commenced and had been initiated by you pressing play on this video. It's a literal activation, aka data collectors. We out here collecting data, okay? We've shifted from victim to data collector. Now that we've accomplished this task, I will see you after you've collected the data from your SESH REFLECTZ. We're gonna do another session next Sunday. All right, that's what we're doing. Where we'll go ahead and tap into the beginning of conducting your own emotional experiment. Why should companies, focus on this, come here. Why should we allow companies to collect data on us if we are not collecting and using it on and for ourselves? Now, I hope this MEsensualz session was helpful for you. If you need support navigating this new terrain and really just getting clear on self-devotion, ruling and self-abandonment, definitely reach out in the link below, okay? Now, I am currently working on this website, so be careful. And Lord have mercy, if it ain't up yet, listen, it's coming, all right? Remember, fellow rulers, it's not hard. It's just new. Thank you for coming. Thank yourself for being here too. I'll see you next Sunday at 7 session. Let me just clear some shit up. We did a lot of work today. Peace and bacon grease. Self-devotion rules. Self-abandonment. Self-devotion rules. Self-abandonment. What?